Welcome to Night Screams Reviews. Today we are looking at Transformer Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Scavenger. And there's not a lot of good I can say about this figure. I was hoping that, the pictures online weren't doing it justice. The plastic quality is good. Joints are nice and tight. But he's just bad. I mean, his gun is accurate. And probably one of the cooler looking guns that come with the Constructicon so far. His hands are... Can't tell if they're if they're purple plastic or black plastic. I'm thinking black. And painted, and the paint match is not good. It is a completely different shade of green. I always try to find the positives because it's just so easy to get negative on these figures when they're not exactly what you think they are or what you think they should be. But this one almost feels like they intentionally engineered it so that the robot mode and the vehicle mode are bad. And yes, as a Constructicon, if you're getting one, you're getting all six. But if I was going to say, hey, if you want to skip out on one of them, this would be the one I would say to skip out on. The chest is like too wide. The arms are too wide. Like, his arms are as wide as his without the wheels, when they should be more like his. I mean, lining them up, you can see how much wider Scavenger is than Bone Crusher. I will say Bone Crusher is a better overall figure than Scavenger. His arms are just weird. Like, I don't know about you, but when I stand up, my hands are not at my waist. They're like that. That looks better to me. Just gives it like no articulation on the arms when you do that. But look-wise, that looks more natural than this. Looks like the guys who are trying to artificially, like, they hold their arms out to make their shoulders look wider. That's what this looks like to me. Like, the head sculpt is close, but the angles on it are just not right. But it's whatever. That's something that's forgivable because it's close. It's got the right general look. This giant crotch piece is way too long. And if you're saying, well, it needs to be that long for the combination, because this is the shoulder joint. No. The peg needs that much room. That much room for the peg. They could have given us half this. Just lower the ball joints for the hips. Give us half this. It would have worked fine. And it would have made it so they could have engineered a waist joint in this part right here. So he would have been able to have a waist joint. This looks like it was made specifically so that he would not be able to have a waist joint. This part right here, yes, it fills in this gap. That's what it is. But having it be part of this is like saying, yeah, we're not going to make it so it has a waist joint, because this would lock it in. You could have done the same thing and have it unfold up here and right here, so it lays flat on this part, and it would have had enough clearance to do that in arm mode. But instead, they wanted to make sure that there was no way that this could have a waist joint. A waist joint should be basic articulation at this point. The chest, too wide. It should be, these panels should be half as wide. This piece of the transformation just gets in the way. They could have engineered a thin piece of plastic for the back here that stops above the waist. Or no, like even like, yeah, they could have engineered a piece of plastic here that was just that thin, with a mushroom peg on top of it, that this would go around, so that in vehicle mode, the top could articulate from the bottom. Here, let me show you what I mean. I would have rather them left the hands unpainted and give us decent engineering. Like, engineering trumps deco. Okay. With that extra thin piece of plastic with a mushroom peg on top of it, that would slot into this, you would be able to make it so that this could rotate around while keeping the treads in place. But instead, they made it intentionally a brick. Because they made the arm joint right here part of the actual like transformation, rather than an additional piece on him. I would have rather had that and a decently engineered figure, rather than trying to make it all one piece. I applaud Hasbro for trying to make it all one piece, trying to make it work, but it came at the cost of 2/3 of the figure. But they give us articulation here. A place that needs no articulation. Like, that does absolutely nothing for the figure. If they wanted to make it so that this could move some, then they should have done it down here. That would have made more sense than up here, because it's not scooping anything like this. If you want to make it so that it could scoop on different sides, then you put it down here. This is the worst combiner Constructicon figure that we have. I think the thumbnail pretty much sums it up. Scavenger holding his head down in shame. The rest of the team pointing and laughing at him. Whenever I get a figure, because I love the DNA design upgrade kits and the non-F upgrade kits, I always look to see how what they can do to fix the minor issues. And actually, when I saw the DNA kit that they announced for Long Haul and Hook, it literally looked like they saw my video on that, took every single point I made about long haul and how to make long haul better and turn that into a kit. I doubt they saw my video. I'm not saying that they did, but pretty much everything I said about long haul is in that kit. I'm looking at Scavenger here, and so he needs longer arms. He needs these parts thinned out. He needs a shorter crotch piece. The legs are fine. I have no issues with the legs. They're exactly what they need to be. They need to have the piece to make the scoop, the top of the excavator rotate. Looking at what would need to happen for all of those to be done, because one of the biggest things, anything involving this piece back here, you would need to take off the shoulder pieces. Those are one-way pins. You can see the pinhole, the pins on the top, but they are completely closed off on the bottom. Those are one-way pins. You can't take them out unless you drill from the bottom. So if you change this piece at all, you would need to take these off, these with it. So you need to replace those. This one's just friction peg, so that can come off. But going through it, I was looking at like what pieces would need to be changed to make this like a decent figure, and DNA would have to just send out a whole new Scavenger. The amount that needs to happen for this figure, for a third-party upgrade kit to make it on par with the other Constructicons, is to give an entire new figure. Maybe just add the legs to it. This is now in the same vein as far as what would need to happen to it for a third-party upgrade kit as the static wheelie figurine that came with Grimlock. 86 Grimlock. I mean, I don't even really think that comparisons are really... He doesn't deserve it. Here he is with the rest of his team that are ashamed of him. There's no reason for him to be in anything other than arm mode. Like, I could see like taking Devastator apart and occasionally displaying him as the vehicles, or as... I mean, his vehicle mode is fine if it's just sitting there for display. He's on par with Bone Crusher on that. But Bone Crusher was supposed to be a brick. Like, the only thing that needed to articulate for him was the bucket on front, and that's what... Scavenger is supposed to be an excavator. The whole top is supposed to spin free of the treads. Instead, we get articulation where it doesn't need to be, where it should never be. That does nothing for the figure, for the vehicle mode. And then we get a figure with articulation like I would expect on a dollar store figure. I mean, the plastic quality is what it needs to be. The joints are tight. The engineering is dollar store. The robot's engineering is dollar store. I don't like making negative reviews like this. I like to try to find something good about it, but there's nothing. I got this like a few days ago, and I've been trying to find something good to say about this, and there's just not anything. If you're getting these to get Devastator, fine. Try to wait for him to go on discount, because I'm sure that he'll go on clearance soon enough. If you're getting these for because you want to fill your Decepticon ranks, no, don't waste your money. Do not waste your money. His only saving grace is that he's needed for Devastator, and I'm sure someone's going to make hell, I don't think that you really need to do anything to... I would say if you had to spend the money and you didn't care about not everything plugging in all the way, get 2 Bone Crushers. Get 2 Bone Crushers. They attach exactly the same way. The only thing is there's a couple pegs on the treads that won't plug in. Mainly where these 2 pegs on the chest shield, and then pegs on the back of Long Haul's arm. those plugging into the treads just to hold them more secure. And I'm sure someone can find a way to modify Bone Crusher for that. So if you don't have to have all of them for your Devastator, get another Bone Crusher. He's still all over the place. He is the better figure out of the two. I don't even know if I can waste the money on toy hacks for him, and I'm getting them for everyone else. Yeah, it's hard for me to recommend this one. So until next time, this is Nice Cream signing out.